Hey guys, Casper here, and in this video I want to show you three stocks, silver, gold stocks that we on the Substack are very, very bullish on, and what I think will do very well during this silver slash gold and mining bull market that we're about to enter here. Um, and again, if you want to become a subscriber, check out the Substack and to see if this is something for you. We try to get good entries, stop loss, targets in a broad variety of stocks within the gold, within the silver space, but also uranium, platinum, oil. We do a little bit of crypto as well when that time fits us. And yeah, so again, check out the uselink, the Substack uselink INB to get all the other stocks that we're looking at. We're just looking at three right now that has this is a long-term time frame. So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 years. You should be able to hold these stocks here that will be very volatile, but should do really well, especially when we break. And now we're going into the charts. But first, let's check the SIL. Again, two lines, it says it all in my opinion here. We have the highs, yeah, 2011. Major low here, so we have a perfect, in my opinion, a perfect wedge pattern. Very clear on the upper, very clear on the lower. Yes, we had a little bit of a blip there, 2020. Very distorted moment in time from that. But when we start to trade north of something like 42 in the SIL, the silver miners are going to go on a really, really big run. I wish this ETF went back 10 more years so we could see the run up from basically 2000. In that way, we could project, higher targets. But I'm trying to make an ETF, a homemade ETF that goes back, 20 years, so we can see what potential price targets this could give us. So remember, 42 on the SIL, that's, in my firm belief, is when silver miners is going to take off big time. And you rarely get such big breakouts. This is a 2-decade long breakout. So this is actually quite big. So 42 on the SIL. When they break, guys, let's check it here. When they do break, we have three stocks that I want to show you. And then again, let's look here. So the AU, that's the Aurion Resources, also one of the better long-term setups. This one here peaked in 2027. So we're talking roughly almost 10 years worth of being stuck within that channel, especially the upper has been a huge pain to get through, right? You can see we have multiple touches on that. And what happened like a few weeks ago is that actually we were breaking out here. So you can see we're about to break out here. We still haven't left the building, in my opinion. So there's still a good opportunity to buy here in the AU, and especially once we clear 0.78, so 78 cents. This one here should start a big move to the upside, and very, very often do you get to the all-time highs in this one here, based on the pattern alone. So again, that is the big target that we have right now. One could argue, again, if you are to do some flagpoles, again, way higher targets depending on when you put the measure. So this one here is a $100 million market cap. So it's not very, very big. It's not a tiny one. And again, this one here, in my opinion, above roughly, let's call it 80 cents to be even, looks really, really good. And yeah, that's one of the things that we're looking at here. Many multiples is expected to be given in this stock here very, very shortly. And you can also see here at the end of this all here, we have a beautiful squeeze, a beautiful contraction in the volatility, and we are breaking to the upside. So until proven otherwise, and especially if the silver miners, the ETFs, are breaking out, this one here should do you very, very well. So this is one of the stocks that we're looking at on the Substack. Next one is MKO, also a beauty of a beauty, really. Long-term pattern. Again, we broke out from we put in the all-time highs in 2011, and ever since it hasn't been doing a lot. Yes, it has. Again, it's been, big bear market, and then basically now we have the squeeze coming in again, which actually it gave us the entry like a few months ago, right here at roughly 3.5. And you can also see after we actually are breaking back above these two highs here within a flag, and we're breaking out again. So 2 times we called for the buys, the bull flag here and the larger breakout, and now we are at 4.4. And is there more upside in the stock here? Yes, there should be a lot more upside in MKO. The big target that we have initially here is this channel high here, combined with that shorter term uptrend here, like that. So we are targeting now roughly 9, maybe between 8 and 9, depending on how fast we get there for this run up here. But there should also be longer term stuff to be looking into. Again, all-time high is a target that I very much expect to get hit. And if things goes really, really well, we have a ton of momentum here. We take the lows here and basically you add it on top. So again, we could be talking, again, this is max greed, at the end of it all here, above 60 for this one here. Again, don't expect these numbers to get hit within the next few years. It will take a lot of time. You will have a lot of volatility, big pullbacks, 50% pullback easily. But again, when we get to that measured move, that's probably the end of it. And if not, it doesn't matter because you have done so well. So big upside here, in my opinion, for MKO still. And yes, even though you haven't nailed the exact entry, I still think it's of good value. Also peaking above the 2021, these highs over here, we are peaking above. So I still very much like the views here in MKO. Looks really, really good. Remember, these 3 here is not, you can short-term trade it, of course, because they are in a massive bull market. But these are longer-term time frames, that meaning that we are holding this for at least a few years until we get to the target, or until we see some big cracks coming in, and again, then we are of course getting out. But for now, absolutely beautiful. Good. Here we have DRD, similar-ish pattern, a very, very good setup in my opinion, because you had a 30-year resistance rail that got broken in 2020, huge surge into $18, and then a very deep retrace, pullback, whatever, back test into $5 and the rail that we just broke out from a few years ago. And same thing as the others that we've been looking at. Look at the beautiful, very, very clean. I don't think it gets much more textbook than this, in my opinion. And we broke out at above 12.5. That was our entry. We are now at 16. And yes, we will go much, much higher. Remember, we are at a little bit of resistance at this moment here because we are hitting our triangle high, which is always, not always, but often you see a little bit of a pause here, a little bit of a pullback. You might peak above, then come down. But overall, the longer term stuff, again, points to a lot higher targets. Very clean uptrend here. So as long as we are within that, all fine and dandy. Targets is, again, we have a measured move here that points to 27, and then a big one here at roughly 50, which also aligns with this huge bear market rally pop here in 2002, and then all-time highs. So again, these are big, large, long-term patterns, and they don't play out overnight. But I do think if you can withstand the volatility, they should serve you very, very well. And remember, we're looking at a lot more on the Substack. You can see here we have a ton of stocks that we're looking at. You can see the silver and gold miners. We have roughly 30 that we track every week, more or less. And then, of course, when I find a new one, I'm adding it in here. So this was basically 3 of those that I think looks really, really good long term. So again, take it as you may, guys. This is my opinion, but these long-term patterns looks fantastic. And then we also went long last week in Santa Cruz, similar pattern. Again, that one I will not show you here, but it also looks really, really good, and we have just broken out. So that's it, guys. 3 silver/gold stocks. That is not the big guys, but not the small guys neither, within the middle of the pack. Looking really, really strong long term. So take it as you may, guys. Have a great day as always. Cheers and bye.